Yatagarasu. Hey. Okay. This is Yatagarasu. This version of the game is like 9 years old. And it's the latest version of the game that we currently have access to. But they have announced that within the next few months, they will be releasing a new version called Enter the Eastward. This version has 11 characters, and they're adding 3 new characters for Enter the Eastward, although we don't know very much else about the game other than they've reworked the entire netcode. They didn't say it had rollback, so it might not have rollback. This game was supposed to get rollback, but then they failed or something. So hopefully the new game has rollback. But other than that, we really don't know much. I mean, we have the move lists for the 3 new characters, so we know the names of their moves and how to do them, but we don't know what the moves are, what they look like, what they do. So yeah, I'm just gonna be playing the old version. Over the past couple of days, I've been working on getting my website updated. Currently, I think I'm done with everything in the system. So anything that applies to all characters or most characters, you can find on my website. Right now, it's all on like one big page. But anyway, let's talk about the game. I'll pick Ryu and Ken, I guess. Now, notice when you pick your characters, you have to pick a couple of extra stuff. So I want to play Crow here. I can choose which super I want. It doesn't tell you the input for it here for some reason. But just like in Third Strike, if you're familiar with Third Strike, you can pick a super. Unlike Third Strike, you have access to both supers all the time. So what happens when you pick a super is that super gets a 20% damage boost. Although there are... I think in this game there are, 3 exceptions? Some supers don't just get a damage boost, they get something unique. But when you pick a super, that super is buffed in some way. For example, there are some characters with timer supers, like a Yun Ganesian. That obviously doesn't work with damage, so it gets a duration boost when you select it. Also, you can select your assist here. Your assist is not an assist. It's not like a team game where you can call assists during the match. This is just a commentary. I have commentary muted, so even if I picked Kokujin, he would just like appear on the screen sometimes, but he wouldn't make any noise. But I'm just gonna pick that. No assist for both sides. The assists don't actually do anything. And this stage has the best music, so let's start there. And let me pull open my notes. Okay. The first loading screen takes like 10 seconds, but once you've been playing the game for more than one time, it doesn't take as long. Okay. Okay. Yatagarasu. As a starting point, it's basically like Third Strike. Also, by the way, this game was made by the KoF devs. Old KoF devs, like old SNK employees from Japan. But it plays more like Third Strike. Because it has parries, and it has like... There's no hops, so there's this thing. This is the forward super jump, which I'll get there. But it's not like KoF where you can just you know, hop around like crazy and just get in whenever you want and have to like heavily rely on your movement for things. It's much closer to a Street Fighter style game, but it doesn't have a lot of the jank that Street Fighter has, and there's a lot of other stuff on top of it, which makes the game more universal and thus more balanced, and more interesting in my opinion. But yeah, that's a summary. Let's just go over the mechanics one by one. You can hold down the crouch. Wow. Any fighting game worth playing has hold down to crouch. But in this game, if you crouch, you actually take more damage. So if I hit him with a heavy punch, that is 5,500 damage. But if I set him to stand, or not stand, he crouches, it does a bonus 6875. So yeah. Excuse me. You do not get extra hit stun. You only get extra damage. In addition, I'll say this right now, just like Third Strike, every character has an overhead, and it like falls over time, which means that, you know, it hits sooner versus standing opponents than it does crouching opponents, which means that you actually get combos if they're crouching. So if I do this, I can't do anything. No input buffer, by the way. This game is more than 10 years old, so it doesn't have an input buffer. But I like it that way. Normals don't have an input buffer, but everything else does. And it's a 2-frame buffer, so your hardest links into specials are 3 frames, but your hardest links into normals are 1 frame. So, oh yeah, I can't get a combo off of this, but if I set him to crouch, now it's very plus, because it hits later. And that's a universal mechanic. Every character gets a combo off of their overhead versus a crouching opponent. Now this character also has this overhead. It's a little bit faster, but you never get a combo after it. With the universal overhead, you can get a combo after it if they're crouching. It's sort of on like the edge of reactability, but it's probably not reactable. It's less than 20 frames. It depends on the character actually. How delayed it is when they're crouching. Because the startup is not reactable. It's like 17 frames, but it hits meaty, so you have more time to react, technically. So it's like right on the 20 frame limit of human reactability. But you're not going to be reacting to this on real matches. Yeah, that's it for the crouch. But you can walk, obviously. You can hold left and right to walk. Walking is actually decent in this game because it's like a Street Fighter game, right? It's not like KoF where you can run and then hold forward to keep running. So whenever you dash, you're totally vulnerable for the whole time, and you can't like stop it early. I can't attack during my dash. So it has Street Fighter rules. That being said, it's like a Street Fighter V dash. It's really fast. Like, you're not gonna be punishing dashes on reaction, and in fact, I'm probably like plus compared to your reaction. Like say you react in 20 frames, my dash is probably a little bit faster than that. So I'm like effectively plus if I dash at you. Some characters have slower dashes, but in general, dashes are pretty fast. And that's just going to be a general theme throughout the game, is like, yeah, you have walking-based footsies, and you can like whiff punish, and you can poke, and you can, you know, throw fireballs and anti-air uppercut when they jump at you, but there's always some sort of quirk that makes it like, well, they could also just do this. And that makes the game more aggressive, because you can just kind of do stuff and it's safe, right? Like I can just do this, and the chances of you actually being able to consistently beat that are pretty low for several reasons. One of them being the speed, and the other one being parries, which I'll get to parries later. But yeah, you can dash. Also, I believe back dashes are throw invincible. I might be wrong about that. And yeah, they are. There you go. You cannot throw people during, I have it written down as 5 frames, but I don't know. I haven't tested that personally. I'm trusting juice blocks. 5 frames of throw invincibility when you backdash. Other than that, there's nothing. You're not airborne, you're not invincible to strikes. It's just 5 frames of throw invincibility. You can jump as well. You can jump in the 3 directions, as you would expect. Pre-jump is normal. Landing recovery is the same as like a Street Fighter 4, where if you empty jump, you can block immediately. So if he does... Oops. I can't punish him on the ground if he empty jumps. But if I make him do a jump attack... Oh, I didn't block. That's probably important. Oh, I'll do that. Hold on. Excuse me. I am recovering from an illness, by the way. There we go. There are, I believe, 2 frames? 2 frames of landing recovery if you do a jump attack. Obviously, characters with like dive kicks or air special moves or whatever might have more landing recovery than normal, but just by default, it's 2 frames, I think. And then if you super jump, you always have extra landing frames. So even if he does an empty super jump, I can still punish it. Oh, too early. Ooh. Come on. Ooh. Maybe it's... Oh, there it is. I got it. It's very tight. It's like 1 or 2 frames. There we go. Got it. Very short. But yeah. There you go. So that's jumps. Super jumps. I just want to point this out. Super jumps in the other directions aren't like the forward one. The super jump neutral, straight up, goes a little bit forward, and the super jump backward just like jumps really far backwards. But the super jump forward is like a KoF hyper hop. It's really, really fast. It's really good in neutral. You can get frame advantage or a combo, and there are cross ups. Yeah, very, very strong. Very common to see in neutral. You just jump in. They don't anti-air you because it's really fast. Yeah, really strong. Or if you think they will anti-air you, you can parry. So blocking is normal. You hold back to block. What the heck? That's weird. What's going on there? Is it the crouch? Oh, come on. Yeah, it is the crouch. So if he holds back, he'll block. But he has to worry about lows, right? So he can't block lows while standing. You have to crouch block by holding down and back. Yeah, all that's normal. The same as every fighting game that exists. This game has throws, which can't be blocked. And this game also has this move, which is the universal guard crush. I'll talk about that later. But you had to be worried about throws and guard crush and chip damage. This game has chip damage as well on its special moves. But other than that, you can't take damage if you successfully block. Next, we can talk about parrying finally. So you actually need more buttons. So you have the 4 attack buttons, which I've put down here. But also these are parries. And so let me turn off the input display. Display inputs off. You can see right here, there's my character portrait, but to the right of the portrait are these flashing blue icons. So whenever I press these buttons, you can see it over there, or you can see it down there, because that's what I have on the stream. But these are your parries. You have a high parry, and a low parry on buttons. This is different from Third Strike, where you would parry by you would high parry by tapping 4, and you would low parry by tapping down. But the rules for parrying are basically the same. All lows you have to parry low. Whoops. All lows you parry low, and all mids and highs you parry high. But there are several attacks that can be parried both high and low, including all crouching light punches. But everything besides that depends on the character. Like, this is standing light punch, parryable low? I don't know. But yeah. To my knowledge, there are no overheads that can be low parried, and there are no lows that can be high parried. It's only the moves that can be blocked standing and crouching that are either high parry only, or both high parry and low parryable. That being said, you can change the window of time that you have to parry by holding certain directions. So, for example, it's really strong because I can hold crouch block and press high parry, right? But not only is there a 20-ish frame cool, I think it's 22 frames, but so not only is there a cooldown on the parry, so if I do this, my parry stopped working. Like, he can hit me with overheads, even though I'm mashing on high parry. I need to space out my parries by at least 22 frames. Otherwise, the parry button stops working. But not only that, but also, if I crouch block and high parry, the parry window is shortened. So if I just stand still and parry, both parries are a 10-frame window. But if I crouch block and high parry, or if I'm crouching at all and I press high parry, it goes down by 3 frames to 7-frame window. But if I hold forward and high parry, then it's extended by 3 frames, so it's a 13-frame window. So if you want more information, you can go read the tutorial. I'll link it in chat right now, actually. This is my Yatagarasu guide. Also put it in the description. There we go. Alright. Yeah, so it's very easy to explain how the parry works, but like the implications of the parry on like mix-ups in the neutral game are quite interesting. So yeah. Anyway, you can also parry while in the air, and if you parry in the air, it just parries all attacks that aren't air throws. So. Oh crap. Oops. Oops. So, there you go. He can air parry, even if I shoryuken. Oh. If I shoryuken earlier. There we go. He can even parry my shoryukens. There's nothing in the game that's not parryable except for air throws. Or if you're on the ground, it's throws. Throws are not parryable. Yeah, even this unblockable guard crush move that I mentioned earlier can be parried. So the only things in the game that are not parryable are throws. Also, you cannot parry during the pre-jump of your jump. So there's a couple of frames before you jump where you can't parry. And obviously you can't parry while attacking. I can't do a jump in and also parry at the same time. So empty jumps are quite strong. Yes. I'll talk more about how jumps work as far as strategy goes in a bit. You can also parry while blocking. Let's just switch characters. training stage. Right. So if you parry while blocking, it is shortened down to a 3-frame window. Whoops, I did a third strike parry. Whoops. There you go. So you can parry. This move is really easy because all the hits happen within 3 frames of each other, so... Or I can just parry the whole thing from the beginning. Oh, too slow. There you go. So red parries do exist, but it's a shortened window to 3 frames, except if they somehow do a block string into this. Certain characters have, like, delayed projectiles and whatnot. If you do a block string into the guard break, the window to red parry is increased to 11 frames. But other than that, it's a 3-frame window to red parry. And there's one more thing that makes parries kind of risky to attempt. That is the BL counter. So if, say I'm doing a high parry, and I get hit during the parry window by a low attack, right? So let's say I do, oops. So I did an empty jump into a high parry. If I hit him during that window with a low attack, then he'll get BL countered. That stands for button lock counter. Button lock is the in-game version of parry. But a BL counter deals increased damage and hit stun. So this game does not have your typical counter hit. Like if I do a move like this, right, and I hit him during the startup, I don't get like a damage boost or a combo extension of any kind. There are no typical counter hits. There's only BL counters, and also there's other things that are called counters, but I'll go over those later. For one, if you get hit by while you're super jumping, it's a high jump counter, and you take more damage. But there are no regular counter hits. But if you get BL countered, it's more damage and more hit stun. The hit that caused the BL counter will deal 3 more hit stun. So let me just turn on BL counters. Auto counter, parry counter, it's BL counter. So this move I couldn't combo off of while they were standing before, but if I BL counter with it, come on. Oh, maybe I can't. Well, his uppercut might work. Whoa. Maybe not. That one, there we go. The EX uppercut's fast enough, cool. So you can't do this. There you go. You can't do this without the BL counter. Let me turn off the BL counter. Does not work. No matter how hard I try. Parry's taking more thought than Street Fighter 6. Well, the Street Fighter 6 parry is not a parry. Also, if you're comparing it to the BL counter system, I mean, it has that. If you get thrown out of a parry, you take, like, double damage. you know, you lose a 1/5 of your life if you get thrown out of a parry in that game. What else? Oh, air BL counter. Oh, also, okay, so if you BL counter on the ground, the first hit gains 3 more frames of hit stun, but if you continue the combo afterwards, the next hits also get more hit stun. So you get a +3, then a +2, then a +1 to the first 3 hits of your combo. And certain characters can take a lot of advantage from that if you get a BL counter like that. But BL counters on the ground don't happen very much because you can block low and high parry at the same time. So if I do this, oh come on. If he does this, like, I can't hit him with a low or a mid because he's blocking low, so he'll just block worst case scenario. And if I try to overhead him, he'll just parry it because he's doing the high parry, right? So that's why it's a lower window. So it's very easy to make sure you don't get BL countered while on the ground because you can block and parry at the same time. The same is not true if you're in the air. That being said, if you're in the air, the window is always 10 frames, but you can use both buttons because each button has its own cooldown period. So if I do a jump and I hit both parries 10 frames apart, I get 20 straight frames of parry. Now obviously your jump is a lot longer than 20 frames. So there's going to be a window during your jump where you can still get hit. And if you get hit after your parry window runs out, that is a BL counter. So let me set him to do this. Oops, wrong button. Let's do it like this. Okay. And you cannot trigger air BL counters with your light normals, but everything else works. If you do a special move, it still works. Now here's the thing. If you BL counter someone out of the air, you don't air reset them. Right? So if he just does a regular jump, I get, you know, he flips in the air, he lands on his feet. I don't get a combo or anything. Right? Like, cancel the uppercut. It doesn't work. Because he's invincible while he's in the air reset animation. But if I BL counter him, BL counter, he doesn't do the air flip and I get a combo. And this is the big juicy damage of the game. Is if you get an air BL counter. You get a lot of damage. I don't play this character, so I know one of his combos actually. I know the corner combo. Right? And I'll go over juggles later. But yeah, you'll get a huge combo off of your BL counter if you manage to do it. So a very common strategy is to do things like this. You know, super jump in with an immediate normal. Because I mean, you're not going for a parry, right? So you're not going to get BL countered. And if they do a jump in with a parry on it, then you might, you know, get a BL counter and you get a huge combo. And again, that's sort of how the game works. Is you just kind of do stuff and you react to what happens, right? In Street Fighter, it's all about patience. It's like, okay, I'm at this range, these are my options. I'm gonna either do nothing or I'm gonna take a risk by doing this, you know? I'm gonna stand at this range and I'm gonna risk hitting a button. It might get whiff punished, I might get counter hit, I might get parry, whatever. In this game, there's a lot more ways to kind of just get stuff started, and it's up to the opponent to have the correct response to it, but also they're doing something else too, right? Like what happens if both players hop at the same time, you know? Or what if I throw a fireball? Or what if what's a good example? Characters have a lot of moves they can just kind of throw out there. Like, let me switch characters again. Let's say I'm playing, what's a good example? What's the best example? Hina? Let's do Hina. And let's go this stage. So Hina can kind of just throw stuff out. Because she's like Balrog. Kantanenzon. She just says this move, which is an overhead that's plus on block, which I can't do because it's a half circle chicken wing motion. Oh my god. It's a kick? No, it's a punch, I'm pretty sure. There we go. That move. Oh my god. Yeah. But this is the obvious example. You can just kind of throw this out there, and they might get hit by it. Especially the EX one, really, really fast. And it's kind of safe, honestly. Let me actually pull up the frame data. Let's just make sure I'm not lying to you. I believe it's hard to punish, but unsafe. Where is it? Yugi-san. Yeah, the light one's only -1 on block. That's not punishable. There's one frame move in the game, I think. So against that one character, it's not safe, I guess. But that move doesn't reach this far, so it is safe. Anyway, you can just kind of throw this out there and it's safe. Stuff like this is less common in Street Fighter than it is in Yatagarasu. But anyway, yeah, that's it. Let me close this. That's sort of it for parries. So just to refresh parries, it's very important that you know how parries work. You can parry whenever you want. Although there is a cooldown, so make sure you don't like press the button twice within that 22 frame cooldown, because it'll just not work. Be more deliberate than that with your parries. Or you can jump in the air and do parry. Like that's a very common tactic, because jump attacks are plus on block, obviously, but you can't block well in the air, so you can usually just get anti-aired. But because of parries, your anti-airs are less consistent because they can just get parried. So it's very important that you mix up how you anti-air. Let me switch characters again, because I can't chain jabs with this character. Let's go back here. Let me set her to jump and parry. Auto parry? There it is. Auto parry. Right? So sometimes you might just want to anti-air with a jab. Right? Because you can chain it. You can cancel it. And just mixing up what moves you use to anti-air can make it harder for the opponent to jump in at you with parries. So if you're the one jumping, sometimes do the default, bam, jump attack. Then if they start to anti-air you with like Crouch Fierce or Shoryuken or parry, anti-air parry, then you can do something else. You can go for a BL counter if you think they're going to parry early in their jump. You can throw them, because you can't parry throws, right? Or you can mix up your anti-airs in various ways to bait their parries and make it harder for them to parry. Like if I do an uppercut that hits 3 times, or if I do a normal canceled into an uppercut that hits 3 times, or maybe I can do an EX uppercut. It's 1 more time, or maybe I can do a super, or maybe I can just do this and then uppercut, right? Yeah, there's a million different ways that you can parry. You'll have to adapt to the opponent and figure out exactly what you should do in the moment. Yeah, that's parries. Next we have guard crush. So up by, it's right there, but it's in the middle of the screen. It's that blue bar. That is the guard meter, just like KoF. Let me turn on guard crush and he'll guard. So if you block attacks, the gauge goes down, and then if you stop blocking attacks, the gauge slowly refills. It really slowly refills. Right? And because of things like this, it's gonna go down real fast. When it gets super low, it starts to blink red. And then finally, if it hits 0, you get guard crashed. And if you get guard crash, I get a full combo, right? Whatever the heck I want. Very basic guard meter mechanic, but it's actually very important that this game has it. Because blocking is pretty strong, because you can just block and parry a bunch. And tech throws. This game does have crouch techs. I'll get to that later. But I should mention now that this game is almost entirely universal in terms of, like, mechanics. Every character has the same health. Every character has the same guard gauge strength. Every character has the same amount of backdash throw invincibility. Every character can combo off of their overhead if the opponent is crouching. Every character has the same length of super meter, which is not the case in Third Strike. Every character has 2 supers, which they have access to all the time. Every character can parry, every character can crouch tech, every character can blah 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 blah. Right? We're just gonna get more and more of that as we go on. All of the stuff that I'm going to cover today is going to be entirely universal, unless I say it's not. So yeah, next we have armor. Armor is not universal. Only a few moves have armor, so let's switch to Chada. Gigadus pressure. Megadis pressure. Armor. Oh, I should have picked the other way around. Whatever, it's fine. I can do that. That move has armor on it for some reason. Armor. Come on. Come on. There it is. Armor. I think she only has... Off the top of my head, that move has 4 frames of armor before it's invincible, I think. Anyway, if you do a move with armor on it, as you would expect, you'll absorb the hit, you'll take some damage, but the move will continue on like normal. And in this game, you actually have something called an armor counter. All that means is if you absorb an attack during armor, you take additional damage. You take 50% more damage. So that leads to situations like this. Let's do this. I forget which super is which. Oh, I dropped it. Nope. Way too early. I got a little bit. Oh, let me do this move. Oops. I can't do it. Running punish. Ooh. That was a good one. Here's the damage that move's supposed to do. Right? Look at his health bar. It's not even past his face. It's right where his face is. But if he does this move... Oh, that was too deep. Oops, wrong move. Ooh, huge damage. So all of the hits you take during armor are boosted by 50%. Also, there's no damage scaling, right? This move has damage scaling during it, so that's gone because there's no combo happening. So yeah, armor is good. There's no armor limit. Like you can't. It's not like, oh, you get hit 3 times, the armor's broken. It's you either get thrown out of it or you don't. Basically, is how it works. So yeah, armor's really good, but you gotta be careful because you're gonna take a lot of damage if the opponent hits you with stuff during it. Right, now we can finally get on to the buttons. So you have your normals, you have your 4 normals, you have light punch, heavy punch, light kick, heavy kick. I use KoF notation, where A is light punch, B is light kick, C is heavy punch, D is heavy kick. And you have several button combinations that you can use. So to throw, it's Street Fighter. You press A plus B or light punch plus light kick. Throws are really fast, and they're unblockable. Some are hard knockdowns. It's great, and you can hold back to throw them the other direction. In this character's case, this is unique to him. You can mash it for more hits. Also, they can mash to escape it faster. So it's like it's a hold from Street Fighter 2. But also, you have command normals. This character doesn't have any, actually. I'll pick this character. I just picked the same character on accident. You have command normals. This character has 2? I forget what the other one is. She has back heavy kick. Right, so this is stand heavy kick. This is back heavy kick. It's not cancelable or anything, but it's a pretty good poke. But the thing that you need to know is that it's not in the command lists. If you go to the command list, it only shows special moves and supers, which they call deadly arts and assassin's arts. Or if you go to this section, they're all called supers for some reason. But anyway, although also your back dash is called a super. So that's anyway. Command normals, you have to fiddle around with them yourself to find out what they are. Also, there are target combos that are also not listed. We'll see if they list them in the new game when it comes out. Like this character has a target combo. Bam. Shunenzan. What's the combo? No, don't do that. How do you do this? Dang, okay. What's the combo? Ah, heavy kick is what it is. Wrong button. And then I think the highest damage you have is this. Whoops. Is that. Anyway. You also have special moves. This character only has 1. So let me switch characters real fast. There's a bunch. You have a bunch. Let's go here. Alright, so special moves are typical, honestly. There's no weird input in this game. You have quarter circles, you have DPs, he doesn't have a DP. She will, in the new game, they changed the inputs on one of her moves, but she currently does not have a DP. You have quarters, DPs, you have half circles. This game requires you to hit every point in a half circle. So you have to hit back, down, down, forward, down, forward. So if you're on an arcade stick, that's fine, but I'm not. So if I want to do this move, that move, I have to do a full half circle, and it's painful. This stage has horrible music. This character also has 360s because he's the grappler. His super requires you to do 2 360s. You have DPs. You also have down inputs. So this character has a down input, and there's also a new character that's coming out that has down inputs. She has a chicken wing, which is it's a half circle, but starting from down back. So you do down back, down forward, forward, up forward. And is there any other weird motions? I don't think so. And then your supers are all just double quarters, basically. She has weird moves. First of all, there's a charge character as well, so you have to do Sonic Boom and Flash Kick motions. Hina's the only fully charged character. Her charge time, I don't remember off the top of my head. I want to say it's like 40-ish frames. Let me just double check. Juicebox has a good guide as well on Steam, which has all the charge times. Charge time. Hina's charge times are 42 frames. And then the only other charge move in the game is hers. She has a command grab flash kick, which has a shorter charge time of 36 frames. And there's no other charge moves in the game. Including the new 3 characters don't have charge moves, although there's one character that has situational moves. I don't know what that means, because they just put situational in the command list. I'll have to figure out what that means when it comes out. But yeah, let's talk about throws for a second, because throws are pretty important. Isenkosa. Crouch, auto guard. So he's blocking, but I can still throw him. Throws are unblockable. They're also really fast. They hit on frame 4 technically, but they effectively have 3 frames of startup because of how they're programmed. The throw check happens on frame 3, so they effectively have 3 frame startup. And to my knowledge, there's only one normal in the game that hits on frame 3. So, and it's on the boxer with a really short range. There are a couple of characters with 4 frames, and everyone else has 5 frames. But 3 frames for throws is really fast. So throws are really, really powerful. Obviously short range, but not as short as like KoF XIII. Like this is 1 pixel outside of the range. I'm gonna. Oh, one more. There we go. Throws are really powerful, but throw teching is also really powerful because you have crouch teching. So if you ever crouch tech, you'll get crouching light punch. You can also hit 3 buttons to do a crouching heavy kick. So that's A plus B plus D to get your sweep. If you press C, it gives you the overhead, because the overhead is A plus C, which I'll get there. But you can beat people walking backwards like this, because your sweeps are cancelable. Well, it's not a sweep. Your sweeps are not sweeps in this game. Let me go over that. If I just press crouch heavy kick, it's this. It's like a crouch medium kick, but there's no medium button. To do your sweep, you press down forward plus heavy kick. Or if you're playing Shimo or Hina, it's heavy punch because they use their sword. But for every other character, it's kick, and it knocks down. Also, there are characters with weird crouch heavy kicks like Kotaro. But for the most part, your crouch medium kick is like a cancelable poke. Right? I hit down, come on. So how does this affect your mix-ups? Well, throws are strong because you can't parry them, and parries are strong, therefore throws are strong. But you can crouch tech. But if you crouch tech, you can't parry. And if you crouch tech, you do a light punch. A crouching light punch is for every character in the game, Crushing Light Punch is parryable both high and low. So if he does this... right, let me just input a crouch attack. Oops, wrong button. I can high parry it, or I can low parry it. Both. Right. So... Crouch checking risks parry, and if you get parried, you die, basically, because I get a full punish. Let me set him to do it and block. Right, he's blocking. Too slow. There we go. I've never played this character in my life, so I don't know how to combo with him, but whatever. You get a full punish. So you can crouch tech, and crouch teching will beat will survive throws, but it's not perfect. But you also can't just do nothing, because if you do nothing, you get guard broken. But you also can't just parry every time, because if you get parry, if you parry, you get thrown, and you might get BL countered sometimes. And yeah, so it's like you have all this stuff that you have to do. Like if you don't throw, you can't do anything. If you never throw tech, then you just get thrown. Or you can backdash, I guess, but backdashes have their own weaknesses. And if you don't parry, then you're not even playing the game. You're playing Street Fighter at that point. You're playing Street Fighter 2. So you need to parry. You need to throw tech. You need to sometimes press buttons. You need to crouch tech. You need all of it. And it's all good, but it's also all beatable. And exactly what happens is kind of fuzzy. Because you might do a delayed button. And if you do a delayed button, they might do a delayed parry to beat your delayed button. But then you might just delay a little bit more. And if you delay a little bit more, they might hit you earlier. You know? And if you're the one with advantage and you delay, then you're not at advantage anymore. So, yeah. The layers are not layers. They're continuous. They're like a continuous pool of stuff that might happen. And therefore, in your head, you have a pool of stuff that you might do. And it's like, you can make specific reads, but they don't go all the way. Like, you're not supposed to make a read like, I think he's going to delay a little bit, but not too much, and then press crouch tech. And I'm going to beat it that way. That's not how you think. You can think that way if they are consistently doing it. But at a high level, that's not going to happen. It's going to be more like, well, he tends to throw tech a lot. I'm just going to do this, you know? I'm going to do a low parry on his wake up because he likes to crouch tech. Or he likes to jump. I'm going to do this, you know? Or he likes to do this, so I have the counter this way. That's sort of how you have to think about it. And it's sort of a YOLO, but the YOLOs are good. Because, like the chance of the opponent A-tiering this is already low enough, but also anti-airs aren't that bad, right? The anti-air only gets bad if you parry, because of the BL counter. So it's like... I have a huge backlog of things that I might do, and my opponent has a huge backlog of things that they might do. And in my recent memory, I've seen them do these things in these orders. He hasn't done this in a while. Maybe he'll do this now. Or maybe he's on a track of doing one of these two things in the situation, so I'm going to do something that is safe to one and beats the other, you know? It's very fluid. It's not a matter of, oh... I'm against Zangief, and he's +2, so now I have to either jump to beat the throw, or block to beat the strike, and there's nothing else I can do. That's not how the game works. You have several ways of beating everything, you have several things that are strong, but beatable, and you have to use all of them. And depending on what both players do, something weird might happen. Something weird might happen. And you have to be able to react to the situation accordingly and pick something that's not horrible. So yeah, that's about it for throws. Although I will say, this game has the KoF thing of you being invincible to throws a lot. So, like, for example, if he gets hit, like that. Oh, let's see. Let's do it like this. So after hit stun or block stun or getting out from a knockdown, not a quick rise. If you quick rise, just like KoF, you can get thrown instantly. But if you don't quick rise off of a wake up, or you just recovered from getting hit, or you just recovered from blocking, there are 5 or 6 frames of invincibility to throws. And every character has a 5-frame button. So that means you can mash to beat throws every time. There isn't, so let's say I set him to trigger guard. Trigger guard. Turn this friggin' off. Get rid of it. Off. Guard. Standing light punch. This is finicky. Try that. Nope. Oh, I know what it is. Training options. Oh, never mind. So these both the one, I guess. Nope. Try 5 or 3. Why is this not working? This whole function, they added it in the later version, and it just doesn't work sometimes. Double trigger custom actions. Custom action 1, standing light punch. Let me just put it on 10, see what happens. Huh. Well, okay, if I'm doing it the other way around, it would look like... I don't even know how I would set that up. I guess I was... Okay, I'll do it like this. Jump in. Too early. Also, you're not blocking. Block for me. Auto guard on. Okay, it doesn't work for that way. I'll do on hit then. There we go, throw. There we go, okay. So he hits me and he goes for a throw. Let me check what Azur's 5-frame normal is, because I don't know what it is. Frame data. Standing light kick, crouching light punch. I'll do crouching light punch. Oh, don't do it on block. Get hit. Come on. If I time this light punch correctly... Oops, come on. If I time it correctly... There we go. If I time it properly... Again, there's no input buffer. Then there's no way for her to throw me at all. Because I'm invincible for at least 5 frames, and my move is 5-frame startup. Again, this exists in KoF games. This exists in Street Fighter 3. This exists in most old games, but I guess the modern developers forgot about it. But this has strong implications for the game, because it also applies just in general to like tick throws. Like if I do a move that's plus on block, I can't tick throw anymore because I have to wait 6 frames, right? So it's again one of those things where, yeah, getting frame advantage is strong, like you have a mix-up there, but if I want to go for the throw mix-up specifically, I have to wait extra time, because if I'm too early, you're still invincible. It's not as drastic as it is in KoF. In KoF 13, your fastest normal is 3 or 4 for some characters, but mostly 3. And the throw invincibility is like 10 frames. So this game is a lot tighter than that, but it still exists. And it's still, if you're good enough, it functions the same way. Like say both players are of the same skill in terms of their timing, right? So let's say you're 1 frame late on your jab. Well, what if they're 1 frame late on their throw? Well, then it balances out, right? So the premise is still there that, yeah, if you just mash jab, you can't get thrown. Theoretically, if you mash jab poorly and they time their throw perfectly, then it won't work. But as a general rule of thumb, it does. Okay. So that's everything for throws. Now we can talk about the overhead. So pressing A plus C, light punch plus heavy punch is the universal overhead. And this is always safe on block. For some characters, it's plus on block. And for every character, if they're crouching, oh, turn this off. Where's off? Off. You get a combo. For every character in the game. Some characters are better than others in terms of what combos they have here. He gets crouch heavy punch. Some characters only get lights, some characters get heavies, but every character gets something, and every character can like convert into something good. If the opponent's crouching, although I will say, this character Hanzo, this character Juzumaru, and Dark Juzumaru, and this character Aja are a little bit taller when they're crouching, which makes them less minus when they get hit by an overhead. So some characters you'll have to worry about what character your opponent is choosing, because your overhead combos might or might not work depending on it. Like for example, if she's crouching, oh, okay. In this case, I still get the heavy, but there are characters that might lose combos against this character because she's taller when crouching, so the overhead hits sooner, so it's less meaty, and I get less advantage. Not that big of a deal though. Why did I delete the blog I wrote about suicide bombings and Islam? I don't remember writing that. I remember writing generally about jihad for a college paper. And it's, if you have the link to it, it'll still work. But I removed it from my website because it's... I wrote it for school. It doesn't mean anything. Do you want to read it again? I still agree with parts of it, but I don't remember most of it because it's been several years. Anyway, next is the guard crush. So heavy punch plus heavy kick. And just to be clear, two things I'll say before I move on. One, jihad is bad. You should be in jail if you attempt it. And for those who don't know, jihad is terrorism. It's actively threatening the lives of people. And specifically, jihad is in the name of the religion Islam. 2, on the other hand, you should not condemn Islam as a whole because there are people who do jihad because of 9/11. If I say, oh, I'm not going to be a Muslim because of 9/11, that's not a totally honest answer. That's not a totally honest way of thinking. That is a stereotyping and incomplete determinism, I guess. If you want to figure out if you should be a Muslim or not, you should read the Quran. Right? Go to the source documents themselves. If you want to be a Christian, read the Bible. If you want to be a Catholic, read the Bible and also all the other stuff the Catholic Church added to it. If you want to be, or if you want to consider whether you should be a Christian or a Catholic or a Muslim, go to the source documents. Don't be like, oh, I knew a Muslim once who was mean to me, so I'm not going to be a Muslim. That does exist, though. So if you are a Muslim, you shouldn't be mean to people. Because if you're mean to people, they're more likely to reject Islam. But on the other coin, on the other side of the coin, generally, you should not reject something because of something unrelated. or something not directly related to the thing that you're trying to consider. Yeah, I removed all of that because it just didn't matter. I removed all the stuff that I didn't like. It wasn't good content. If I wrote it for the sake of a college course, it wasn't good, so I removed it. I also wrote something about the Confessions, which I don't even remember, but it's a guy that slowly became a Christian, and it's like 10 pages on that. Really boring to read and really boring to read mine. Both the Confessions and the thing I wrote about the Confessions are really boring. What else did I delete? There's just a whole bunch of stuff that I don't agree with, or that I don't think is beneficial to the public anymore. That being said, there is stuff there now that I do think people should read. Anyway, moving on with Yatagarasu. Universal Guard Crush. This move. Heavy punch plus heavy kick. If she blocks this... She blocking? No. If she blocks this, it is an instant guard crash. And I do it a combo, but it's less... It's less than if I do it normally. Than if I break the guard gauge normally. I can still get like a heavy punch. It's usually around like plus 13 or so. So if you're close enough, you'll get whatever you want, basically. But if you're further away, it's like, I can't forward dash, right? I can't like forward dash. It's too slow. So I might need to resort to like a super or a sweep or something like that. But this move is parryable on reaction, which is why you usually don't see it in high levels of play, because it'll get punished. Or it's very similar to Drive Impact from Street Fighter VI, but it's a little bit faster. Let me look at the frame data real fast. Old frame data. I wonder if they're all the same. I actually don't know if they're all the same startup. Probably. Heavy punch plus heavy kick 21 for Aja. 21. 21. 21. I'll look one more. 21. Yeah, they appear to all be 21 frame startups. So if you can react in 21 frames, that's a free parry. So yeah, it's not very strong, honestly. But if they're not looking for it, then it is very strong. But if they are looking for it, it's not very strong. So yeah. Also, if it hits, like if they don't block it, oops, then you might get a combo. In his case, he does not get a crouch heavy punch, it looks like. So it's oddly more advantage on block than it is on hit. But I can still get like... I still get something at least. Wow, that didn't combo. In his case, he might not get anything because his supers are not workable here. That's too far. I can go for a mix-up, I guess, but yeah. On hit, you're gonna get a lot less. But on block, you're plus like 13 or something, and you get a combo. So yeah. Now we can talk about this stuff. Command lists. Specials. Let me get rid of that. Specials, you can cancel your you can cancel most, if not all, your normals, except for your sweep, into specials. Right? Light kick, light punch, heavy punch. That being said, there are situations where you can't, like her. Let's go to the pink stage. Her crouching light punch is not cancelable into specials, but her light kick is. That's not a special. Her light kick is cancelable. Her heavy kick is cancelable. Heavy punch is cancelable. Standing light punch is cancelable. Standing heavy punch is not cancelable. Standing light kick is cancelable. Heavy kick is also cancelable. Command normals will also be different. And some moves are only cancelable to supers. For example, this move. Not cancelable into her specials, but it is cancelable into supers. In general, you can only cancel upward, with the exception of like lights can chain together like this. Every character except for like one or two can chain at least some of their lights together, not all of them. Like she can't chain her light punch to her light kick here. But she can chain from light kick to light punch. But other than that, you can only cancel upwards. So I can't cancel special to specials, or super to supers, or like normal to command normal. Like she doesn't have a command normal, but it like say I pick a character like this. Let's go with Ko. He has a command normal. He has two of them actually. He has forward light punch and forward heavy kick. I can't chain like heavy punch into forward light punch, right? Because that's on the same tier. I have to go up. I have to go from a normal to a special to a super. Right, so he can do normal, special, super. Like that. Crush Fierce, Hadouken, Shinku Hadouken. And even within that list, there are exceptions where cancels are not possible as well. So any cancel on the same tier or to a lower tier, which doesn't exist actually, but any cancel to the same tier is character specific. Like this character can cancel her specials. Oh, come on. When are they gonna fix that? This character can cancel, can go from normal to special, for example. She also has a target combo, so she can go normal, special. That didn't combo, but it canceled. There we go. Normal, special. So, and any cancel to the same tier is going to be specific to the character. So this game does have stuns. Let's talk about stuns next. Turn this off. Guard off, but stun on. There is no visual indicator for stun. But basically, if I hit you a bunch of times, you get stunned. And there's a stun timer that shows on the screen, and once the timer's up, you recover. But before that time, I can assist you, and I get a free combo. And actually, you can combo them when they're stunned. Whoa, that was weird. Right. So let's go to the corner, and I hit him. Interesting. It appears to depend on what you stun them with. So let's stun them with a fireball, see what happens. Yeah, there we go. Come on. Stun. Oh, maybe it's a time thing. Come on. Ah, it's a time thing. Yeah, okay. If you're fast, you can get a combo off of the stun hit. Like that. Let's see. The juggle system in this game is kind of weird. I don't fully understand it, but I get the gist. But it is possible to stun the opponent and then combo afterward. I'm trying to think of an example, but I just can't. I can't think of one. But then after you do the combo, wow, really? After you do the combo, they're stunned. You get another combo. So yeah. But the thing that makes stuns interesting and unlikely to happen in high level play is, let's turn on. Turn on stun. Right. She's stunned. And now her stun's recovered. Right. Alright, so in most fighting games, you have to wait to get your stun back. In this game, you don't. Oh, one more. In this game, your stun does not recover over time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's one hit from stun. But now, I can hit my opponent once, and it goes away. What? Oh, okay. Maybe it doesn't go away. Oh. Or maybe it reset in the training. It's hard to tell. But the way I understand stuns is, if you get hit a bunch in a row, you are stunned. But if you hit the opponent, you reset all your stun. That's how I figured it to be. I might be able to find stun in Cheat Engine. I'll do that after the stream ends. Not during the stream. So I'll let you guys know if I learn how stun works afterwards. But yeah. The important point is that stun does not go away over time. You have to actually hit the opponent for your stun to go away. Let me do it like this. 3. Let's do 3. Then I hit... I don't know. That appears to not be the case, so... It appears that you'll need to hit the opponent with a certain attack, like not a jab. Or you'll need to hit them a certain number of times or something like that. Or maybe hitting them reduces your current stun value. I'm not sure. I am not sure. So I guess we'll have to move on because I don't know how that works. And because there's no stun meter, right? There's no indication of when you're close to stun. Aside from you being stunned. So now we can talk about supers. Or I guess super meter. So... super gauge. Normal. 0 bars. Super starts at 0 and it stocks up to 2 times. Your EX special moves cost half a bar and your supers cost a full bar. You build meter for whiffing anything that's not a light normal. If I do jabs, it doesn't build meter, but if I do a heavy punch... Oh, certain moves don't. I forgot about that. I have a full list of moves that build meter on my website guide, which you can read. I did that work yesterday. So you can whiff heavies. For some reason, most characters crouch heavy kicks don't. I guess because they hit low or something. But sweeps do. Sweeps those hit low. And they... Oh god, turn it off. Stun off. Off. Sweeps it low, and you build meter for whiffing those. So I don't know what's going on with these. But most of your heavies build meter on whiff, as well as most of your specials. Not fireballs though. Dang. On hit it does, but not on whiff. Also interesting is if you block. If you block, you build no meter. If you block, you build no meter. The one attacking and getting their attack blocked builds a ton of meter, but the one who is blocking does not build meter. This is the opposite of KoF. So blocking is not something that you want to do in terms of meter building. But yeah. Let me turn back on meters. So I believe every special move in the game has an EX variant. So this is light fireball, this is heavy fireball, this is EX fireball. And EX moves cost half a stock. And your super moves cost a full stock. And you can read your super moves from the command list like this. Again, every character has 2 supers, and the super you select deals 20% more damage. So this is one super, this is the other super. A guard crush super, actually, but it's very easy to parry on reaction. Yeah, it's a way to dissuade you from blocking. The fact that you don't build meter. That being said, there are no, like, guard cancels. So, like, there's nothing else besides EX moves and supers that you can spend meter on. This is it. Like, this is the end of the super meter section. You have these, and you have these. And nothing else. So your super meter is actually not that important for damage. It's more important for like the utility. Like this is really fast and invincible, whereas if I do no meter, then I have a fast one. Actually, I think they're both the same speed. Let me double check that. Let me get a better example. Yeah, let me get a better example than that. If I do... I mean, I guess this is a good enough example. is Tatsu. Round 1. Fight! Don't block. If I don't spend meter on my Tatsu, I have this one, which is like +1 on hit, so it's like, yikes, it's kind of good, but not that good. Or I have this one, which knocks down. Or I have the EX one, which is a combo. Actually, his is worse. I'm thinking of Crow. Let me go back to Crow. Ko's heavy Tatsu used to be punishable on hit. Fun fact. Anyway, so light Tatsu is kind of slow, but so you can't do it from lights. It's not a combo. Let me turn him on auto guard. Right. I can go off heavies, but not off of lights. Heavy works because it's faster, but I don't get a combo. In the corner, I do. Oh, it works mid-screen against Aja. Cool. I didn't know that. Huh. Maybe that's just a new thing he got in Cataclysm. I didn't know that. So that's another bad example, but I mean, the EX one, which is much better juggles anyway. So I don't know. Well, my point got ruined. So I'm just gonna move on with my walk of shame. Meter building. Okay. And that's it for, like, the core systems. There's a few more things I want to mention, though. Say you get knocked down. It's an auto. Is it because of this? Auto Okemi. Here it is. So let's say... Let's say I get knocked to the ground. That's what it normally looks like. Right? There are two things that you can do. If you press punch, you'll do a quick rise. Too early. You can mash it though. It's very easy. Or if you press kick, you'll actually delay rise. So let me do it like this. Oh, come on. Come on. So this is what a normal knockdown looks like. I start getting up right as she lands from her jump. Bam. But if I press kick, delayed rise, I get a blader. Yeah, like a full 30 frames later or something. That being said, all wake-up timings in the game are not universal. All three of them are like kind of random. There are some characters whose quick rises are slower than their normal rises. So it's you're gonna. There's probably a table out there somewhere with all the data, but yeah, safe jumps aren't really a thing anyway. So yeah, if you learn a safe jump, it's going to be on a character-specific basis. Also, there are some instances where it's a hard knockdown. So I'm gonna set him to auto punch Ukemi. He can't do it. And if I set him to auto kick Ukemi, he can't do it. They get up at the same time, every time, no exception. Those are hard knockdowns. I believe they're limited to throws and only like some throws, not every character's throw, and supers. And again, not every super, only some supers. So they're pretty rare, but they exist. Additionally, you have sweeps are kind of weird. Sweeps you can quick rise. Sweeps you can quick rise, but you cannot slow rise randomly. I don't know why. You can't slow rise. It's the quirk of the system, I guess. But yeah, that's it for Wake Up. Also, a reminder: if you quick rise with punches, you forfeit your throw invincibility, and you can get thrown immediately on Wake Up. So if you mash jab on Wake Up after a quick rise, they can still throw you. So be wary of that. If you're worried about throws, don't quick rise. Damage reduction. So let me pick a character that I know how to do a combo with. Like Shimo. I picked the wrong direction. I need the opponent to be Shimo. Here, I'll be Hina. Then we'll go to this stage. Let's record. Let's do this. I dropped it. Oh, it's punches, not kicks. Oops. Oops. Oh, it dropped. Interesting. Oh, I missed the button. I know what happened. Is it not working in the corner sometimes? Maybe it's character specific, actually. Oh my lordy loo. Okay. I gotta delay it, I guess. Oops, wrong button. It might not work against her sister. Oh, there it is. Okay, it does work. No, let me just not drop it. Bam, like that. Okay, so you can reduce the damage that you take during combos after the first hit. So this is what you'll have to listen for it. But if let's say I didn't get it. I didn't get it again. There it is. I got it. So you see how it said, actually that's different. Probably heard a noise here. Let me do it like this. Let me set the dummy to do it. Auto recover on. That noise. Recover. That noise is the auto recovery. So if you get hit by a punch attack, you can press punch, or if you get hit by a kick attack, you can press kick. Light and heavy don't matter, but the punch and kick do matter. And if you do that, you'll hear that noise, pshing, and the damage you take will be reduced by 5% for that move. So only 5%, it's not very much, but you can see the damage difference Like, let's just do... Let's just do this. 7684. And if he doesn't auto recover... Come on. 7984. So 300 damage saved because you reduced. Again, it's only a 5% damage decrease, so it's very small, but there's no reason not to do it. So go for it. It's a fun little mechanic that you can do while the opponent is comboing you. That's really it as far as the important stuff. You can read the stuff I have on my website for more details. That's the gist of the fundamentals of the game. Everything else you can kind of lab by yourself or read about. No, it is for every hit in the combo that's not the first hit. Because obviously, if you press punch when you get hit for the first time, it's like it doesn't make sense. So any hit that's not the first hit, you can reduce by pressing punch, including multi-hit moves. So if I do a 3-hit DP, you can reduce the damage of the second and third hits if you wanted to. Well, there's also some weird stuff in this game that you can read about if you want on my website, but I'm not going to go in details right now. But let me do something like, let's do this. Yeah, I'll turn it off. Oh, it's not a knockdown. Or... There we go. See how the combo counter turned red? What does that mean? People who've played Third Strike probably know the answer, but... Yeah, you can read about all of that on my website. It's not that big of a deal. Here, I'll show you this. Auto parry after first hit. There you go. There we go. Okay. Anyway. If anybody would like to play, we can try to play. This game's netcode is decent. The bad part is that you have to like open your ports manually. Also, you probably shouldn't buy the game now because there's a new one coming out soon. Although I kind of want to... But can I imagine this game? Not with that character. Oh, I know the perfect character for you. Dude, this character. You want to mash? Pick this character. And pick the first super. Oh, I picked the wrong super. Pick the second super. $11 jabs, wow. Come Anyway. Yes, you can. But you should probably also do other stuff sometimes too. Whew. I'll talk about some other stuff that you don't need to know about, I guess. I'll stream for a little bit longer. I am still sick, so... trying to limit it. Also, I want to do that. I want to do something I said I was going to do. What was it? Oh, yeah. I was going to try to figure out how stun works. I'll do that off stream because it's boring, because I don't know how it works currently. Let's turn on... Okay, let's do it like this. So notice, I'm going to draw a thing here. Look right here. Look right there as I do this. I'll try to do a frame perfect parry. There we go. So that one was a frame perfect parry and no lines showed up. But normally, if I attempt to parry, I get a certain number of lines. This tells you how early or late you are on your parries. So if I'm late, I get red. And the number of bars shows you how many frames late you are. That was frame perfect. That was 3 frames late. That was 3 frames late. That was 3 frames early, but it still worked because the parry window is 10 frames. Actually, for this one, it's 7 frames, but... in general, the parry window is 10 frames. It's always at least 3 frames if it's a red parry. If it's not a red parry, it's always at least 7 frames. That was 1 frame early. 4 frames early, 3 frames early, way too early. In fact, it was so early, it was more than 7 frames early, so it didn't work. Or I guess it was at least 7 frames early, so it didn't work. But yeah, that's a cool thing the game has. Next thing is this. Omit idle. Probably a translation error of some kind. I have no idea what it's supposed to say. But this is your reversal prompt. So things that are not normals have an input buffer on them called omit idle. So say I do a normal into a forward dash. That is omit idle. For dashes, it always says 0, but if I do a special, for example, say I do a normal into a special. Come on. Let's do heavy punch. There we go. Oma idle 1. Oma idle 0. And you can also get Oma idle 2. Frame perfect to get Oma idle 2. There it is, Oma idle 2. So there's a 2-frame input buffer. If you press Oma idle, if you see Oma idle, that means your character performed their attack as early as possible. So you got a successful frame perfect reversal. Oma idle 0 means you actually timed it perfectly. So you actually pressed the button on the frame your character recovered. If you see Oma idle 1, you were 1 frame too early and the game buffered it for you by 1 frame. If you see Oma idle 2, you were 2 frames too early and the game buffered it for you for 2 frames. Normals do not have a buffer, so you'll never see Oma idle for normals. Backdashes have a buffer of 5, I think, off the top of my head. But they always they always show 0 on the Oma idols, so that's that. Everything else, so all supers. Yeah, these are normals, so they don't. Okay, that has an Oma idol on it. Okay, so that counts as a special. Can you cancel into it? No, you can't. Anyway, everything else is a buffer window of 2. So the hardest. So say I wanted to do a combo like. I got one. Say I wanted to do a combo like crouch heavy punch into super, but not with a cancel. This is a 3-frame super. Yeah, I'm doing it right. There we go, I got it. That combo is a 3-frame window. That is a 3-frame link into the super. There, I got it on the first frame. Well, okay, technically it's a 1-frame link, but there's a 3-frame window because of the buffer. But also, there's a couple of other things that you can do. The first one's obvious. It's a super, so you can press either button, right? I can do it with light kick or heavy kick, and it's the same. Almost every super in the game, except for like Chada's super. Yeah, I think that's the only one off the top of my head. Most supers in the game have one version, so you can just do it with either button, and it's the same. So I can make this 3-frame window a 6-frame window by pianoing both buttons. Bam, bam. Specifically, you should try to aim it so that they're 3 frames apart, so you get like the 3 and then the 3. But come on, there it is. Got it. But you also have negative edge in this game. So if I hold, here, just watch my inputs. I'm gonna hold kick, heavy kick. The D button's being held down. Oh. There we go. You can perform specials and supers only, not normals, obviously. If I hold light punch, you don't release light punch, you get light punch. But for specials and supers, you can perform them when releasing the button, which is the full piano technique. You can make this a 12-frame link by pressing, releasing, then releasing. So 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. Although, humanly, that's probably not possible to make it 12 frames, but you don't need it. I would just do it like this. Also, you can just double tap it, or like rapid tap it to get it more consistently. Why can I not do crouch heavy punch? There we go. It's possible to just mash it out because you have the 2 frames of extra buffer, and you have both buttons, and you have negative edge. Or you can just cancel the move like a normal person instead of trying to link it. That's cool. What else? Absolute guard. So there is no absolute guard in this game. Let me turn on Ko. That's the wrong order. I want to go against Ko. Let's go Crow versus Ko. So if I start blocking then let go, I don't keep blocking. I cannot mash buttons to get hit. So this is a true block string, but I have to make sure I keep holding block, otherwise it won't work. Additionally, if you attempt a red parry, the rest of your... and it fails, the rest of your block stun is hit stun, basically. You can't block anymore for the rest for the rest of the block stun. So what that means is if you're too early on your red parry, you'll get hit. I don't think it's possible for this super though. I'll try it. There it is, I got it, wow. I'm holding block the whole time. Yeah, I got it. But if you time your parry wrong, then you get hit anyway. Even if you're still holding block, if you attempt a red parry, which is a parry during block stun, you'll parry if you get hit within 3 frames, but if you don't get hit within 3 frames, or if you parried the wrong direction, then you'll get hit. Because the rest of your block stun you can't block anymore. So it's actually pretty similar to Slashback from Guilty Gear XX. Trying to do a parry in the middle of a block string. Well, too early. I don't know what that combo is. I can go briefly over characters. Let me make sure there's anything else. One fun fact about the corner. You can jump over their head in the corner, but notice he doesn't turn around until I land. So let me just set the dummy to do this. Okay, let's just do it like this. So if I hold back to block... Oh, he didn't do it. There we go. If I hold right, I can still block. So you cannot cross up the opponent in the corner with a jump attack, because they'll be able to block it from the front. Obviously, they can choose to block the other way, because they'll walk out of the corner and then block. But as a general rule of thumb, if you corner yourself, you don't have to worry about cross-ups until they land. After they land, you do. Right, so I can do like an empty jump into a jab, and that is actually a cross-up. So yeah, it's a fun fact about the corner. To my knowledge, there's no cross-up protection in the game. So if you do like a perfect jump at the perfect distance, it's like it could be on either side. What else is there? That's it. I have at least brushed on all the stuff I wanted to talk about. Except for stuns, which I thought I knew, but I apparently don't know. Okay. Let's go talk about some more in-depth stuff with the combo system. So let's... Let me pick Chata. And I'll go against, I don't know, Azure. Juggles. So if I... Here, let me do... Let me do... Ko. Or Crow. I think Crow might be easier. But I'll do it like this. Let's say I get a BL counter. Yeah, I definitely want Ko. Or not Crow. Not Ko, Crow. Let's go to the stage. So there's a juggle limit Notice the guy talking. He says "good" when your combo ends. Too early. Right, so right on that fifth juggle hit, the 6th hit in the combo, you have 1. So you have 1 juggle hit, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I dropped it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. He says good. That means you've hit the juggle limit. With no exceptions, you cannot hit them. They're going to land on the ground and they're going to recover with no extra hits. So in Crow's case, when he hits a BL counter, he has 5 hits that he can do. So let's do BL counter. One, 2, 3, 4. Oh. 1, 2, 3. Oh, drop it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. If I do like a double hit like that, it won't work. Because I only get 5 hits. Different characters will have different limits on their BL counters, and also like just in general within a character, different launchers will have different juggle limits. Like if I do this, come on. There we go. I get at least 2 hits there. Let's see. That's a good example, actually. Oh, I got one. Yeah, that's correct. I'm like, is it Shima or Hina? It is. It's Hina. Well, maybe it is. Ah, whatever. She can. Oh no, that's definitely Shima. Because she can super jump cancel that move. That's what it is. That's what it is. Okay. This move can be super jump cancel. Oops. This move can be super jump canceled. But I've already hit the limit, so this has a juggle limit of 0. So notice if I do something like this. Oh, come on. He says good as soon as that move hits. Good. So that has a juggle limit of 0. You can't juggle after it. But if I do the EX one, then I get 3. Right? I can actually juggle after it. Good. So yeah. Also, her BL counter sucks. BL counter. She only gets 3 hits. How did they not combo? Man. Oh, maybe she only gets 2. Holy crap. Huh. There we go. That was 3 hits. Okay, so she does get 3 hits. But this move probably has like higher juggle cost or something. Oh, here's a weird one. So this move, no juggle if you start with it. Right, I can't combo off of this no matter what I do. But if I juggle into it, come on, it's like this. Too slow. Oh, really? Oh, maybe it's Hina's. Come on. Really? How have I not hit this like 20 times in a row? What the heck? What is happening? I'm switching to Hina. Holy moly. A charge. There we go. So this move you normally can't combo after it, I think. Maybe you can super, actually. Yeah, you can super, actually. You can't do you can't do this. For example. The juggle potential of the normal is too low. But if I do this, oh, I know what it was. With Shimo. I remember. It's Shinkalinzan. This move. You cannot combo after this if it's the combo starter. No combo. Even if I uppercut, if I EX uppercut, can't do it. But if I juggle into it, it does not end the combo. So I can do this. And I can actually combo off of that. Wow. There we go. So the way the juggle system works is you have to worry about two different values. You have to worry about the launcher level. So the move that launches the opponent has a launcher level. Every move in the game does, actually, except for moves that don't deal stun. So there's, I believe the only things that don't deal stun are throws, and this move doesn't deal stun. But when you stun them, there's a launcher level because they get launched when they get stunned, right? So everything has a launcher level. Also, if you hit them out of the air, like if they jump at you and you anti-air them with it, then it also launches them because they're in the air. So there's the launcher level, and there's also the juggle cost. So it's like, okay, I do a move like this that has a launcher level of 3, so I get 3 hits. But if I do a move like this, come on, that is a that's a reset. That doesn't work. I gotta do Hina's. Hina's is better. So this has a launcher level of 0, so I can't. Well, actually, it does. It doesn't, but pretend like it does. If I do the EX one, I can actually do this now. Or if I launch with this, I can juggle after it. But if I do it in the juggle, I can't. Right. So if I do. Right. Oh wow, I got 2. Cool. That's so it probably has a juggle cost of like 3. which is to say that if you do this in a juggle, it counts as 3 hits. Whereas this only counts as 1, so that's what you usually do. I suck at doing this move. Ground bounces are weird. Let me get a chata for that. Ground bounces are character specific. I'm gonna put it that way. They're more move specific. In general, you get 3. You get 3 ground bounces per combo, and then the 4th one is a tiny bounce, but you can still combo after it, actually. So say he does this 1, 2, 3. The 3rd one is a low bounce. Sorry, it's 2, and then the 3rd one is a low bounce. But you can still combo after it. See, it doesn't end the combo. It's just the ground bounce is lower, so you can't keep doing the same loop over and over again. But it depends on the moves you've used previously. So sometimes you get more than or less than 3 hits. So, for example, that time the 2nd ground bounce was the one that did it. And that's too low. Too high. There it is. And that one, that time, the first ground bounce was a low ground bounce. But it also depends on the moves you use. So like, I was using surprise kick. If I do this move, it has a higher juggle cost, so I get the ground bounce to be shorter sooner. I don't know how it works exactly. It's just a by the numbers system. So basically, I'm just gonna say, learn a combo and do it. Learn the best combo for every situation and just do it. Don't think about why it works. Just do it. So with Chata, that would be that one I just did. As many surprise kicks as you can. Based on the height. Wow, really? Wow, I missed it. Okay. Right. Something like that. Just learn the combo and do it. Lab it out, then do it. Mega diss. Oh my god, doing this super on this freaking controller is gonna be a nightmare. I can't even do it. Alright. Also, damage scaling is very simple. Damage scaling is very simple because it tells you the number. See that 80? The 80 means damage scaling. So the first hit in the combo does 100% of its damage. Unless it's a BL counter, then it does more damage. If it's a super jump counter, it does more damage. If it's a crouching counter, it does more damage. You can read more about exactly how much damage depending on the move, based on the move that does it, on my website. But that doesn't contribute to the scaling overall. It just means that the first hit does more damage. Normally, if there's no BL counter or whatever, the first hit does 100% damage. And the number, so like right here, I'll can I pause? Not really. It's right. It's right there. Look at that box. It's on the left side of that box. Let me move the box. Right there. That 85, 80. If I do this move, it's like 95. It's really good. That means the next hit in the combo will deal 95% damage instead of 100% damage. So for example, this move deals 7,000 damage. This move has a scaling. Oh, let's do an easy one. 95, 100. Okay, I'll do the 95. So this move, let's do this move. 7,000 damage, but because I start the combo with this, it'll deal 95%. 7,000 times 0.95. 5% would be half of 10%. 10% is 700. Half of 700 is 350. Subtract 350 from 7,000, you get 6,000. 6,650. 6650. So the total damage of the combo will be 5500 plus 6500 plus 6650, which is 12050. 12050. This combo. I did the math wrong. Darn it. Where did I mess up? 0.95 times times 7,000. I did that right. 6650 plus 5500. Oh, I just said the wrong number. I put in the wrong number on the last step. But yeah, so we're doing 5,500 damage. And then 95% of 7,000 damage, and you can see it auto updates in real time, and each time it multiplies. So if I do this, the next hit does 85. 72 is 85% of 85, rounded. So in all these cases, it rounds to the nearest whole number for the final hit, for the final calculation of how much damage it deals. It rounds to the nearest integer. By the way, each character has 51,600 HP for some reason. Oh, and by the way, let me... I'm gonna end the stream now. But before I end the stream, I'm going to show you what I'm going to be doing off stream. So let me open this. Wait, what? Oh, I did the wrong thing. Do that. Here, let me do the easy way. Games, mods, Yatagarasu. This. Okay. This is something I've been working on. I put it on Google Drive. You can get this from my website. It under... Where is it, actually? So go to my website, go to Yatagarasu, go to Basics, and then under basics, I have a section for meter build detailed, and there I put the link there. I might put it somewhere else that's easier to get to. But anyway, you can see this. So let me turn off health regen. Bam. Oh, I need to attach it to the game. Boop. There we go. So every character has, you can't really see it, but right here. Right here. Is where you're looking. Boop. So player 1 HP is 51,600 HP. Player 2 HP is 51,600 HP. But if I hit her, it goes down to 46,300. And if I do the math, 51600 minus the damage I did was 5,300 equals 46,300, right? So this is in real time reading the RAM of the game to display the health value that is currently in the game. So currently I have it set to have both players' HP and both players' super and the timer. Although super is kind of weird because let me put it on normal. Let me put it on 0. Yeah, so I have 0 meter. But if I build a meter, it actually... so it's 161 for a full meter. So I built a full meter, but notice it says 3. Because the value it's stored in the game is not 161 plus 3, which would be 164. It's just 3, and then it knows how many stocks you have. So technically, that's not how much meter you have, it's how much along until the next meter you are, I guess, if that makes sense. That's just how it's programmed. I can't get a value that is above 161 because it just doesn't exist. 161 is the full meter. Also, fun fact, if a full super is 161, how much is an EX move? Because 161 is an odd number. You can't divide it in half. It's legitimately 80. It's exactly 80, which means it's actually less than half of a super. So if I turn on, if I turn on 2 bars, oh, let me reset to, it's not foolproof. Sometimes you have to reset for it. If I do a move like this, oops, like this, I actually, if I have full meter and I do 4 EX moves, I actually land with two little points of super meter left, and as you can tell because let me turn it back on this. You can tell because right here, there's that little green icon. That little green bar that goes up with my meter, see it? But if I set it to 0, or yeah, if it's on 0, oh, come on. Turn it to normal, and I do 2 supers. Then I actually have 0, and now look, the green line is gone. The green line down there is gone. So if you're at full meter and you do 2 supers, you have 0 meter left. If you are at full meter and you do 4 EX moves, you have a tiny pixel of meter left. Actually, 2 pixels. You have 2 points of meter left, and the most you can hold is 300 and what is that? 322 meter left. Anyway, that's the end of the stream. That's all I wanted to talk about. Thanks for watching. I'm still sick, so I'm not going to go on a full-time stream schedule yet. But hopefully within next week I'll be there. So anything else? Oh yeah, and so what I'm going to try to do now off stream is try to figure out how to get stun, how to get the stun in that that table. But yeah, I'm gonna end the stream here. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, consider joining on YouTube. We have emotes. That's about all you get for joining on YouTube. You can join on Twitch, which also has emotes, but also you'll get animated emotes because it's Twitch, and Twitch is cool, and you can have animated emotes. You can also join on Patreon. You can become a patron on Patreon. I haven't uploaded in a while because I've been sick and it's the holidays, but I plan to upload stuff soon. You'll get my videos early if you're on Patreon. Also, I'm thinking of doing other stuff for Patreon. I'm thinking of like doing other stuff, like other kinds of stuff that only Patreons will get to see, or that only patrons will get to see. So those are the 3 main ways to support me. You can also join the Discord for free. That's just the best way to contact me when I'm not streaming. Obviously, if I am streaming, stream chat is the way to contact me. If I'm not streaming, join the Discord. Unfortunately, I can't show stream chat anymore on the stream itself because Twitch has a rule where you can't use any software to join all the chats together. So it's either Twitch chat only or it's no chat. So I chose no chat because I don't want to be Twitch chat only. Plus, there was no one in Twitch chat today. It was only YouTube chat. But yeah, thanks for watching. See you guys next time with the new Yatagarasu, with a new Tekken 8, with new Under Night, maybe, I don't know.